Peace and love, family. Peace and love. I'm just having a quick conversation with you all. I don't really have nothing much to say. I was just reading the news feeds on Sonetta TV. I came across his live stream. You know, I occasionally glance at the comments to see what the people are saying and what their reaction is. Some fucking weirdo, right, gonna come on the comment and say how they saw me at Dollar Tree. And because the address is accurate, and I know I have went there on several occasions, it's a strong possibility they could have seen me. They're going to say, I saw Melanin Sutek at Dollar Tree. She didn't seem so pro-black. I want to know, how are you supposed to be acting in the goddamn 99-cent store? Am I confused? Am I supposed to be banging on 99-cent items? I mean, like, how was I supposed to be conducting myself in a store that I'm coming to get items for $1? And most of the time when I go to Dollar Tree is to buy like plastic bowls and stuff like that, or I like to buy notebooks to jot down my ideas, but that's neither here or there. I'm out shopping. So is there a code of conduct on a way where pro-blacks are supposed to act? I don't know. What was I supposed to be doing? Like, that crap made me laugh. Like, I had to go on the post and be like, so, and you saw me, and you following me around the store? If anything, you're coming across creepy, my nigga. You're coming across creepy. If I saw somebody, if I'm not going to speak, I'm going to be like, oh, okay, I remember I seen them from somewhere. I'm going to go on about my business. But if you're following me, and majority of the time I have my child around, you're following me and my child, you're creepy. You're creepy. That's not pro-black. So you're saying you watching me, was that being RBG and Marcus Garvey and all this hoopla? Yo, that's why I'm staying the hell up out of all this shit. I'll come on when I feel like, if I get a notification, I'll come in and occasionally see if if there's something valuable to be taught. But obviously not like the conscious community. And I'm not even going to talk about the quote unquote leaders and teachers. I'm talking about the people that's in it. Y'all are not y'all, sorry. It's a lot of psychotic motherfuckers. Y'all devote your lives and trying to pry into people's personal business. And I mean, like, y'all coming off worse than the quote unquote enemy. Like, you saw me at Dollar Tree, but you didn't speak. But yet you watching me. Okay. I see. I'm gonna have to start watching myself, man. Got some goddamn weirdos out there, man. All right. I'm gonna see if I see people in the room. Yeah, peace and love, everybody. I'm able to see the comments. I'm in the room. Oh, I don't like when my camera's reversed. I don't know why it's doing that. Yeah. Okay, peace, sis. You said what happened. I was reading comments on Brother Sonetta's page. He did a live stream earlier. He was asking the people if should he still continue to do debates. So I was, reading the comments, and somebody in the comments was like, oh, I saw Melanin Sutek at Dollar Tree, and she didn't seem so pro-black. And I'm saying to myself, how am I supposed to be acting in a goddamn 99-cent store? So it's other people on the comments saying, oh, what did you sense? And how did you, how was she acting? And I'm like, who would ask fucking questions? Like, y'all, that's fucking stalkerish. If somebody said they saw somebody but didn't speak, you're a stalker. You're a stalker. What are you talking about? And then y'all asking them, what was I doing in the store? Nigga, I was shopping for fucking items. What else am I supposed to be doing in the goddamn 99-cent store? Obviously, I'm there. They have a product or service of my interest, so I'm in the goddamn store. Like, y'all, like, I'm sorry to keep saying y'all, but it's some weirdos, and that's why I'm backing up out of this whole thing. Like, y'all talking about you see me, but you don't want to say hi. So how y'all supposed to be pro-black? Well, you're not. I don't know if it's a female or male, and y'all not even gonna greet a sister, even if you don't like me. If you saw and you acknowledge that it's me, you couldn't come and say peace, sister. Like, y'all some goddamn devils out there for real, like for real. And there and you know, it's a lot of, and then I'm gonna touch on that. There's some sisters in this movement, because the sisters don't have a voice in the movement. There's some sisters that trying to come out. And I see how they when I come in the room and I be talking, they be trying to throw a little shade, but it's all right, because see, I'm not one of these Negroes. You come off disrespectful, I'm gonna bring it to you, and I ain't talking on some regular, oh, we just gonna come back, curse each other out. Nah, we're just gonna get to the streets. So this is why I'm staying about it, is because people thirst for fame and attention. I don't thirst for it. That's why you don't see me on the platform. I'm not here to sell nobody hope or to sell you a higher level of spirituality. I'm really trying to give y'all a product and service, something to show you my gifts and my talents and my skills that I'm certified for. I have a degree in business, so I need to be about my business. I'm a certified life coach. I'm trying to infuse all my talents and gifts into one to see what I can give to my people. And that should be our focus, economics. Sonetta talking about, should he bring back debates or not? We need to be talking about fucking money. You niggas is talking about who y'all want to see go up against each other, and who y'all turning these leaders into fucking gods. Y'all looking for somebody to worship. Nigga, get the fuck up off your ass and save yourself. The conversation is what you doing for self. Because if people are not prospering on an individual level, that's why we're not prospering as a fucking group. Like, Sonetta, get your money. Like, don't ask these niggas what they want. These niggas want drama. These niggas want chaos. These niggas want problems. They want black on black violence. That's the frequency of this fucking nation, or stagnation. And y'all don't like dealing with the truth. That's why I try to keep my mouth shut, because when I give it to you motherfuckers raw, dog, y'all don't want it raw. Y'all want somebody that's going to pussyfoot around the problems so they can try to get your money that black niggas don't even give up to support your ass. So I'm supposed to be risking my prosperity to go and be on this pro-black, pro-broke journey. Oh no, y'all can kiss my whole asshole on that one. Y'all can kiss my ass on that one. All the great that broke. And what do they got to show for it? Inappreciative bastards. That's all. Facts. Let's talk about it. Yep. I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, you cooning. Nah, you a damn coon if you have the knowledge about survival of the fittest. And outside of race, if you're not trying to leave a legacy or something for your children behind, then my nigga, you're failing yourself in your lifetime. I can't sit here and fail because a group of Negroes want to fail. Y'all bugging out. Call me. I'm all loving. I love everybody. Because guess what? When I need help and I need support, my people don't come to my aid. It's always non-blacks. Facts. I get a few couple of brothers and sisters. I mean, I'm not trying to come down on all black people, but we dealing with reality. And the reality is, our people, we don't care about each other. We hate each other. That's what it is. You go outside, you're getting stared up and down. There's no loving energy. Sometimes I get loving energy. Okay, like when you're natural and stuff like that, it's something about your energy and persona. You seem more welcoming, as opposed to a sister who got weaving and, you know, the makeup and the whole, you know, RuPaul drag race going on. So I seem more approachable. So brothers and sisters will say, hey, good morning, blah, 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 blah. But other than that, we greet each other with, like, who the fuck is this nigga? We eyeing each other. But come on, like, y'all act like y'all not in the black community. Like, pro-black people, like, try to make it seem like we live in a loving community. No, we don't. We got to watch our back. We got to mind what we say. We got to worry about when these kids get out at 3 o'clock, raising hell on the train and on the buses. But when Melanin Sutek say something, oh, I'm cooning and buffooning, I'm lying on the black youth. Ah, come on, man. I'm done. Let me look in the room, man. Everybody, listen. When you get away from the movement and they be like, oh, you used to be so pro-black, let's get something right. When I first came into this movement, yeah, I was angry because, like, when I came into the information, I was disconnected with my ancestors and their suffering. Like, when we was in school, when they talked about slavery, they talked it from like telling you a story. So I didn't really feel a connection to it because it's not like our parents or our elders, like a grandmother or a grandfather or something, passed down the the story of our ancestor enslavement directly to us so we can feel a connection. I learned it in school with other people, and we looked around and said, okay, that's just what happened. There was no emotional connection. So as I came to consciousness at the age of 25, I got reconnected and I feel my ancestors' pain. I would say felt, but I still feel their pain. And another reason why I'm fired up is because I'm looking at Underground and I'm like, God damn, how many more movies and shows do we need to see that blatantly shows us who's up against us? And that the only time we had power and strength to overcome any barriers was to unite and to love each other. We got to wait for Jew Hollywood to show us this shit. This has nothing to do with oppression and brainwashing. When I was growing up, I never done harm to my own people. I wasn't out there acting like no hooligan or hood rat. I had one or two best friends, and I was just an overall nice person. And plus, I'm funny, so people love being around a funny individual. I've always been a loving person. So for somebody to sit here and say, somebody brainwashed you to hate your own, I'm like, I wasn't even raised to even hate anybody, let alone my own people who I grew up in the community. So we got to be careful that in this pro-black movement, they're giving weak degenerates excuses to act like animals. We grew up in the same hood. Why you an animal and I'm not? No. We're gonna cut this whole. A lot of people want to throw around terms of black people have psychological illness. Meanwhile, they're not certified psychiatrists. Okay, on no level is anybody bringing forth a piece of paper. And guess what? Even if they do, the methodology the race that used psychiatry was the Europeans. That's the white race tool to enslave the poor so they can put them into hospitals and use them as lab rats. If you study the history of psychology, that is European. Unless somebody is born with an obvious birth defect, or they suffered a temporal contusion or damage to the brain, you're a fully functioning human being. Now, you may have went through trials and tribulations in your life where you feel like you're psychotic, but I don't believe in all that shit. You have choices. You choose to be good, goddamn it, then you're gonna be a good being. If you want to be bad, then goddamn it, you're gonna be bad. We're not gonna sit here and try to make a list. And you're not a clinical freaking psychiatrist, but every black person know the mental illness of the next black person. No, your ass crazy. Get the hell on out of here. Oh, black people suffer from this. What? When I talk to brothers and sisters outside, they are well aware what the hell we're going through. They are well aware. Why are we lying here? I talk to Negroes every day. They know what we're up against. They know who's in our community taking them black dollars from us. And we need more black employment. We know these things already. Why is the black community trying to make it seem as if our nation is a bunch of toddlers and infants, okay? That we got to sit down and spoon feed grown-ass people that live in the same reality that we do. And you know what? When I talk to a lot of these black people, they say, here come the pro-black chick. Yeah, that's what they call me. Here come the black chick. They try to run from me. You know what they said? At the end of the day, they living for today, and they don't give a fuck. Majority of black people that I have spoken to, word to my ancestors. They said, I don't give a fuck. So what you want me to do? I want to prosper. I want to build an empire for my child. You tell me I got to sacrifice myself. This ain't back in the days when black people fought as a group. You sacrificing yourself, your skills and ability to grow big in business or whatever you want to do. You're going to limit yourself for a group of people that say, I don't give a fuck about myself. I don't give a fuck about my children. Don't give a fuck about my parents. And most of all, I don't barely know you, and fuck you too. Oh, no, honey. My ancestors came to me in a dream, and they said, you too smart for this. Go ahead and be great. Go ahead. They not ready. And when they are ready, we'll know it, and we'll see it, and we'll feel it. But in this day and age, black people are not ready. Certain individuals are, but it's only a few of us. And we got to come out here and we got to fight on our own and defend our family. That's a fact. That is a fact. For the brothers for the intelligent brothers and sisters who are out there banging on this beast, but then they're turning around saying, please help or donate, and then these same pro-black people are nowhere to be found. But yet these leaders, these revolutionary leaders who are risking their life and their image and their employment because they're going to get blacklisted, y'all are not even taking care of them. Y'all niggas are funny. You niggas is funny. Funny. Let me go back to the room. All right. I'm reading some comments. What's up? That's right. That's right, sister. I refuse to commit to a people who don't want to prosper. Like, I'm out of the matrix, family. Like, even my daughter sit back and she is she's gonna be 11 next month. She sit back and watch our people, and she was like, "Mommy, how come I get it, but grown-ups are not getting it?" My 11-year-old knows what to do, and it's not because I'm raising her to be pro-self, okay, pro-liberation, pro-sovereign, and all that. She's a biologist. We are all natural biologists. She is studying life. She is studying survival. And it's sad that when kids are more intelligent than adults, I have more hope for our nation with the generation that's coming up, with the youth that's coming up. Okay? These millennium babies, I have hope because they question. They don't let you just tell them something. They're going to ask you and ask you and ask you until you probably have to whoop their ass and say, get out of here. I'm not answering no more questions. These kids do not submit to lies and deceit. They want to know. They want to live. They want to be great. But this era that we're coming up in, I don't know if it was the crack or I don't know, Jesus, I don't know what it was. This generation is it's not ready. It's not going to happen. And that's not me pushing out negative energy to the universe. It's about me accepting reality so I know how to make the proper steps in this matrix to optimize me and my child, me and my future seeds survival and thriving. I don't want you to survive. I want to thrive. Like, no, come on. We arguing about who's a god and that a god and who's a devil. When are we going to talk about money? When are we going to talk about the stuff that's really important? And when there are platforms putting out good information, positive information, brothers and sisters don't gravitate to positivity. They want the drama. They want it. They want the chaos. So don't sit here and be like, oh, Melanin Sutek, you being negative. I'm telling you what it is. You see it. When I look on Brother Sinetta page, right? I look at the viewership when it comes to him when, you know, brothers are debating or they're arguing with each other. Oh, those views skyrocket. But when he's calm, cool, and collective, and he's just bringing us information, or he has Brother Garfield talking about investing and fixing your credit, which we all need to do that, guess what? That barely gets views. So I'm going by what I see in facts. You can clearly go and compare videos on any platform that you want. Anything that has drama, oh, we gravitate to that. That's what we want. I'm not even going to say we, because I barely come on. I recently had started coming back and watching videos because I took a break from all this. I said, you know what? I got to find myself because I don't understand what's going on here. I feel confused. I feel lost. I thought I found a sacred space to be with my people, but it's turned around that it's the same type of attitude, but just Negroes that have read a few books. So now I feel once again pushed out and alone again. So, because I refuse to be around the phoniness. And if we got all this book smarts, this is why I don't understand. If we have a quote unquote army, and I'm not, when I say army, if we have a quote unquote group, right, the conscious community, why do we keep looking for other people to get on board? Why don't the strong and the best of the best, because that's what every nation do. They take the best of the best, and if we're supposed to be the best of the best, why aren't we coming together and building something? We didn't put no money together, get no block. Something. I mean, like, what? Come on. Do we got a temple? Who's the president? Let's make this a real organization. Nobody's doing that. I throw out ideas out there, and nobody gravitate to it. But then they want to say people that come on and make YouTubes and what are y'all doing? I mean, what you want me to do if people don't want to do nothing? Like, listen, I gotta survive, man. I gotta survive. If y'all gonna put me up, me and my child survival up for, I'm always gonna be for liberation. But I gotta do what I gotta do to liberate myself first and deal with being in control of self, being in control of my economics. Because my master teacher is Dr. Claude Anderson. Because see, anytime we start talking about this money and how we got to recycle black dollars, it's quiet. But we talk about Dr. Ben and all these other leaders, but nobody want to talk about the brothers and sisters who are still here that are our elders putting out the work. We should be veering and reaching out to Dr. Claude Anderson. Okay? That's who we need to be focusing on. The living, because now we're worshiping the dead all the time. And a lot of y'all want to be caught up on Kemet and all this other stuff. Listen, do you have a pyramid? No, you don't. So anytime you buy something that is Kemetic, I bet you it's not even made by a black person. You're buying it made from China. Let's be real. Let's be real. Can we keep it 100? You're buying all this Kemetic stuff and it's made in China or wherever else, made by non-black groups. Because you can't say it came straight from Egypt because the Arabs are on it. So what, you bought it from the Arab nation? You funding them? Like, get the hell out of here. Get out of cultures that are dead and gone. We are a new people. It's all right if we want a new name, a new nationality. Because if we have a new name that we're gonna say, not everybody can be a part of that. Not everybody can be a part of that, man. That's where I agree with the Morris with the whole nationality thing. We need to be talking about nationalizing ourselves and start taking it serious. The intellectual black people, we have to come together. And if we have offsprings, we need to start talking about arranged marriages. We need to start giving our children opportunity, successful marriage opportunity. We got to come together and really build a village. But nobody wants to talk about this stuff. So what y'all want me to do? All I can do is survive. Okay, I'm going back in the room. Well, see, we can't blame platforms, you know. Everything falls on the people, and the people, that's where the problem lies. It is the people. Almost everything is made in China. Facts. So I don't know how you can be so Kemetic and Egyptian when half of them items I see in people's homes are from China. Okay, you look like you in Chinatown. Okay. Make the black churches in the community take the tithe money to buy land for our own economical empowerment. Great point. We need to bring that up. Oh, hey, Mel P. How you doing, sister? Yeah, Nellie Fuller, Dr. Claude Anderson. We need to be talking about economics. We need to talk about who has a business idea, and we should have events where we raise money for them to get started. But anytime we think about a brother or a sister building a business and generating wealth, we feel like, oh, they're going to leave us behind. So I'm not going to help this nigga make it. But meanwhile, we help every non-black make money. Every day. Every day somebody's going to the corner store. And just like my stalker saw me at the Dollar Tree. Okay? Saw me at the Dollar Tree and it's not black owned. So every day we're forced, okay, to spend money with other nations but our own, because they sell us our food, clothes, and shelter. Okay? Even if a lot of us say, I'm gonna protest, I don't want to buy anything that's not black. Then you're gonna go hungry, honey. You're gonna go hungry. All right, I'm going back. Let me look in the room. Yeah, man. So I'm reading some comments in the room. So I guess while I'm live, if y'all want to throw some questions out there, questions or concerns, like, I'm right here. Yes. If you wish to donate, please donate. Help a sister out. Is that really Natty? Is that really you? King Noble's wife? Cause you know how people take other people's names and stuff. I don't have a super chat. People who got super chat, they got a strong following. I don't have a strong following because I don't be on it like that. And like I said, I've been going within myself and deciding, about my life and my path. What is gonna work for me. Okay, you said why I say if Polite did scam, I'd rather he do it and give us some type of knowledge than just give money to our oppressor who support police murderers. My whole thing is I made another live about this whole scamming situation, and this is not geared towards Brother Polite. Anytime somebody gets scammed, you can only blame yourself. Before you engage in buying a product or a service, it's up for you to thoroughly do your research before you purchase an item, a product, or a service. And because of our people are so gun-ho on worshiping individuals, they take what they have to say for face value without investigating. So if you got scammed, I don't blame the person who scammed. I don't blame the scammer. I blame the scammy. Because from my experience, anytime somebody stepped to me about how paperwork is going to get me out of oppression, thank God I have common sense. The only way I know as a Black person, the only way I'm going to be free is, number one, I have to have a nation. We have to have resources. And most and foremost, you have to have an army and weapons of mass destruction. If you don't have these three components, you're a slave. Okay, Natty, they still need the sisters in the community to teach, share info because we have been privy to more, so share what we can when we can. Of course, we need more sisters on a platform, but I think the vibration and the tone of how everything was set up within the quote unquote conscious community, I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna come off like genuine. I don't know why my camera keep freezing. People don't request a refund from auto insurance companies for paying money and they never wreck. Correct, brother. Correct. This is what I have to say on the matter. Brother Polite has disseminated so much powerful information that some people are just going to have to take a L for the T. That's how I'm going to put it. I came across this brother's video while he was on Sonetta's couch, and just the information and the millions of views this brother has accumulated, and the people that he woke up, charge it to the game. I'm not sitting here and saying what he did was right. Listen, number one, I can't comment on it. I never had a personal experience with him. I'm only going by other people's testimony on how they feel they got scammed, but behind the scenes, I wasn't there. I don't know if there was miscommunications or they wasn't able to reach him. I don't know. I'm not touching on that. My point is, from my experience with Brother Polite, he has disseminated higher level thinking, what our people need today. Anytime I went to any of his lectures, I came out a tad bit smarter. And that's a fact. You can go to other people's lectures and you could just leave like and say, okay, I came here for fun and other people, but you didn't really leave with nothing. Polite really made me tap into my inner genius, and I came out questioning and thinking and feeling like my neuroplasticity, it expounded. My dendrites expounded. Having money don't make you having money don't make you successful. Um, well, it's a part of success. Well, first of all, being a successful person, everything is about how you envision your life. Everybody's life is not everybody else's blueprint. If you have succeeded in all aspects of your life, meaning, like, let's say you wanted a house, car, and a family, and you got your own business or your dream career, you are successful because you reached every benchmark you set for yourself. I hope all brothers and sisters who are in the business of giving a service or a product to other brothers and sisters, I hope that they change for the better. Because, see, the things that we like to do is when a brother or sister mess up, because nobody is perfect, all right, we like to demonize and try to destroy them. If anything, if anybody feels like somebody in the conscious community is doing wrong, it is up to the people to correct that person, and that we should give them the opportunity to apologize and to start anew. Because, see, we forgive our opponents every day. Every day. If a brother or sister slipped up along the road, because you have to understand, majority of us grew up in poverty. So when we're getting money, we don't want to lose the thrill of how fast we getting fast money, no matter how we getting it, all right? Sometimes you can get lost in the source. So if any brother or sister get off course, it's up for us to handle it as a family. And if they don't change after that, then they're going to have to suffer the repercussion on us having to shut that down, because we shouldn't tolerate Black businesses doing shady things, because it's going to look bad on us who are trying to build Black corporations. But give people a chance. Because everybody on the platform, everybody is not going to like them. Everybody that's on the platform, they have their own team. Even in the community, even in the conscious community, it's not even a fucking community. It's teams. Hashtag Shaka Utmost, hashtag Shankofa, hashtag Brother Larry, hashtag Young Pharaoh, hashtag Sarah Sunsei, hashtag. Y'all are a bunch of groups. This ain't no unity of Black people. You have a master teacher, whoever that is, and whoever you favor, no matter what they do, that's who you're going to be on their side. So this is not even about promoting unity. It's about promoting favoritism and who you're going to co-sign at the end of the day. All right, let's keep it real. Let's keep it funky. Okay, you said, okay, telling people to use an EN number in place of a social security to open up a new credit file for a federal felony. I mean, I don't know about all that. My whole thing is, like I said, and I will repeat, before you buy a product or service from anybody, whether they're Black, white, green, or Anunnaki, ET, you need to do your research. If you don't do your research, you're doomed to fail from the beginning. So don't get so caught up on worshiping somebody you idolize because you feel like they're intelligent, you like their energy, you like their swag. Put that shit to the side when you are departing with your money. Research. If I'm giving up my money to anything, I'm researching you. I'm researching you. And it's not going to be 24 hours. I'm going to take my time depending on how much I'm investing, because anytime money is released from your hand, it's supposed to be an investment. So anytime you let go of your money, your investment, you have to figure out, how is it going to benefit me? You go into a supermarket, you have to invest in healthy food. Why? Because healthy food can give you longevity. Everything is an investment. If you just handing over your money, then then you're boo-boo the fool, not the people, because you're gonna have people that are gonna be slick talkers Okay, know how to game you, and they're gonna get your money, and then you gonna be crying, throwing up videos. I got scammed. No, you stupid. They look at your success without glasses, and they look at your failures with a microscope. Correct. Correct. That's what we do to brothers and sisters. Your tailor and deed to your house is a scam. Is that really you, King Noble? Oh, once my finances get right, I do plan to be a homeowner and buying land. I have a blueprint for myself, but it's one day at a time, one day at a time. So, I'm just like, as I'm resurrecting as an individual, you know, because my old me is dying because a new being is coming out of me, and my focus is my daughter, is my seeds that I planted here. If I'm going to sacrifice anything, it's going to be for her welfare. Anything outside of that, I mean, man, listen, we're in a tough spot, and we're not doing anything about it. If missing black children, and or the death of black children, and the miseducation, and our babies being incarcerated, our men are being thrown in jail, and all these things that are happening before our eyes, if that's not enough, and I don't know what could be enough more than the death of our babies. Nothing is enough to put fire under our ass as a group, not individuals, because there's no I in team. One person can't carry a group. Now, can somebody stand out in a group? Of course you can, but it takes a group. Like when people talk about Michael Jordan, yeah, Michael Jordan was a great basketball player, but guess what? He had a team. He ain't go up against the other team by himself. He still had a team. Even though he was the strongest player, he had a team that trusted him. Okay, and was there to support him whenever he needed them. I wanted to use that type of analogy. But all we have is individuals. We don't have a strong team. So us as an individual, we start now thinking, we have to start thinking and surviving for self. People push you into this, like, I got to worry about me situation. You want to give and be the best for your people. And guess what? You are being a good person to your people when you are striving to be the best human being you could possibly be. When you know you want to be great, and you want to come back, and you want to come back to your communities, and you want to offer something. But first you have to make it in order to bring back resources to save our people. It's a lot of people who run their mouth, but they don't have resources to come implement something great in our communities outside of clucking like fucking chickens. Like, come on. Okay. Sister Natty, you said what is by design, sister? Please elaborate on that. Wait, I'm going to put the link in the box. If people want to cam up or talk directly to me, I'm going to put it in the box. Peace. So if you want to come out on the Google Hangout and talk or say what's on your mind, you're free to come in. It's no I in team. If you want to say your piece, let me see. All right, nobody. I mean, did I do the? I want to know if I did the right thing. All right, I'm not seeing nobody hitting the link though. It's cool. I mean, yeah. I mean, I just want to know that I put it out there if people want to come on and say something. But me, I'm not going to be talking much because and it's not like in a sense of, I feel like I want to live in my truth. I want to be the embodiment of my truth, and I want to build myself up so when I am in the presence of other brothers and sisters, they can sense and see my greatness, and they want to align themselves with great people. The impoverishment makes it harder to come together. Sis, I agree. I agree with that. Let me check and see if somebody tried to All right. Nobody's trying to come in. Nobody trying to say any things. I do agree. There is a couple of things that I can agree to what don't make us come together. But the same thing that you say that pull us apart can be the same thing that put us together. If we know we are a group of impoverished people, that's a commonality we have. So we should come together so we not be poor anymore, be impoverished anymore. So you can look at it at many different ways. Okay, being impoverished is what makes us against each other, but being impoverished can be what brings us together. And we can come together and formulate how can we get money together. Two great minds is better than one. Yeah, okay. I'll drop my donation link. I normally don't, be promoting it like that because everybody think, oh, everybody's throwing up a GoFundMe and everybody trying to use somebody. Yeah, that's my GoFundMe right there. I moved from Miami, bought 10 acres of land, and I homeschool my daughters and grow my own food. That's wonderful, Warren. You are a living testimony of liberation, brother, and I commend you for that. All those things that you're doing right there, that's heaven. Okay, just me for 4 cents. A degree from a university is not meant for you to get a job. It's an education to create a job. Technical schools train students for the job market. People need to know the damn difference. Agreed. Wait, I hear something. What? Oh, wait. Okay. Wow. All right. So you're on, brother.
Oh, what's going on? What's going on?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I was just chiming in. I was the one in the C Dave 423. I was on Sinetta earlier,
Okay.
and I was just talking about how we need to come together and show each other respect, and and show courtesy to each other instead of showing it to other races of people. You
Right.
know, uh, and with the money situation, it's not hard for us to get no money together. We just don't want to do it. It's the individualism. Everybody want to be the top dog and all that old stupid stuff. When really in reality, we not even. Everybody say they do stuff. We do. I do for my kids. I'm out here doing this because I'm doing it for my kids. But we're not putting no money together to benefit them. It's
Correct.
little boys out here who don't even know how to throw a baseball. They don't even know how to swing a bat because why? The parents don't interact with them. The kids
Correct.
are doing the same thing grown people are doing. They playing with phones and on Instagram and Snapchat just like adults.
Right.
We got to interact with the children and bring actually get into their life and
Correct.
actually leave something behind because we the same people crying saying our mamas them didn't do nothing for us. They ain't leave us nothing. It's 2017 and we don't really have nothing to leave behind. But it's not that we're not capable of getting the money. We just not putting it together. And that's all it takes is just being dedicated and putting some money together. It's not hard. It's not hard at all. Because we give money, we pay cell phone bills every month.
Mm-hmm.
Bills. Just to get on
Correct.
Instagram and Facebook. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Barely talk on the phone. Don't nobody even talk for real. It's
Exactly.
crazy.
But this is a conscious community, though, right? But we all don't have numbers to each other, or outside of the people we choose to speak with. Like, I'm just like, if we're gonna call this a community, we have to be one actually. And I'm not sensing that. I feel like it's just a group of people with a common interest, and we like to make it think. We like to lie to ourselves and say this is the community, but it's not a community. A community has a location and somewhere to go. Not saying that with the cyberland is now a new reality. Virtual real estate is very much so real because it's powerful. But like, come on, we need to start making something real and tangible, or it's going to keep coming off like a joke, or people that's just bitching, moaning, and complaining. That's why the Black movement is not appealing to the masses of our people, because it doesn't seem real. It just seems like we're yelling and screaming and we're not accomplishing anything. So, with us who go by certain philosophies of, our ancestors that passed over, or our leader now, How are we utilizing the information and knowledge and wisdom we have to be great on the individual level? And that's what we're not seeing.
Right. We're doing all this old history, going back in history, and we don't know who we are.
There you go.
We don't. We are whole new people. So we need to separate from being African American, and we're our own new people. 14% of America, but the whole world. If that should ring a bell in our heads, you know, to say, okay, we got the power. We can stop anything. Really, we can stop a lot. We can shut the whole America down for real. Selling drugs and stuff. We can shut because that's unaccounted for money that we're giving back to these motherfuckers by paying lawyer fees, going to jail bonding. Now, then you go in there and you work for them folks for 19 cents. And they get $33,000 off of you while you in jail. But when you out of jail, you can't even find a job that pay you $20,000. But they can get paid off you, and we're not setting no standards. We're not shutting nothing down. We just it's like we just talking, and we just angry black people, and like it's like we don't have a reason to be mad. That's why people feel like, well, you got the same opportunities. Everybody get the same opportunities, but we're not really. We're doing it individually. We say we together. Right. We say we want, but we're doing stuff individually, and it don't work. Nothing works. Like we need to be building corporations. We need to be putting money together. We need to say, hey, we building a corporation. I don't know what it's gonna be, but we're gonna put this money towards this, and after a year or two, we're gonna come together. And if you don't put no money down, you ain't down with it. That's just what it is. If you ain't putting no dime in, you got to get from around here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's what it got to be.
Facts, brother. Facts.
Because people want to piggyback freeload, and we got to get off of that. I know we love each other. We want to see everybody make it, but money is a tool, and it's a tool of love, and we have to learn how to trust each other. See, the problem, trust each other with nothing, and drop me off at work. I'm gonna think, well, damn, he might be driving around in my car doing anything. We shouldn't even think like that about each other. It should be okay. I got you.
That's right.
You know, but our minds is so westernized to where everything we read is the white man. Everything, but how do we think? We need to think about how we think. Forget what's in the book. We can read that all day, but we need to keep in mind what our mind thinks about it. And share intellect on that level between each other and compare and contrast instead of arguing and disrespecting each other. But I don't see nobody arguing. Folks scared to say anything about the police. They scared of, people fighting in the street every day. Our kids are fighting in the street and ganging each other every single day. But I haven't seen them gang a brown white person. And they know we getting shot down in the streets. Like that's crazy. Like the psychology that we dealing with is severe. It's a severe reverse psychology that we dealing with. That we thinking it's a game. It's everything's a game. Everything's funny. Everything entertainment. Everything play basketball and go do flips and all this old dumb shit. And then we complain when our kids. But then we want our kids to go to private school because we don't want them to be in the hood and all this old stupid shit. When really we control the whole game. We control America. We just don't know our power though. We don't even know who we are, so we fucked up. But we getting back to a level though. We getting back, but it's only gonna work if we come together. It's not gonna work if we all individualize. Like you said, Michael Jordan over here, Steph Curry over there, LeBron James over there, and nobody break bread with the community.
Right.
That's not gonna work. And it's gonna take those people who the kids look up to come back, to bring out everything together, like what Chance the Rapper did. I appreciate that. Don't just donate and don't say nothing.
Right.
Donate and show your face and say, yeah, I did that. I did this for my people. Because you're going to always get the love back. People can say what they want to say about Polite, but Polite showed a lot of love, period. I don't care what nobody say. You can say he's scam, but going to college is a scam. Getting a loan is a scam. Nobody complains about none of this stuff these crackers do to us every single day. Paying a cell phone is a scam. All this stuff is a scam. We don't benefit from none of it. It's just materialistic stuff that we get, and we happy when we get it. Just like we still got that slave mentality. Oh, I got a Gucci belt. I got the J's on. That ain't about shit. And we broke. We broke. Not just you got some money. That's like going to the club and I know you ain't got no money. I know you hungry, but I'm gonna eat and I'm gonna go to the club and you can ride with me if you want to, but I mean, you might have to sit in the car. Like that shit lame. We got to get off of that.
Exactly.
We got to get off of that. But that's, you know what I'm saying? I'm just sorry for rambling. Somebody
No,
else can talk.
express yourself, brother. This is about a community. It's not about one person that's always speaking. We all got to come out and speak because we all have our own experiences and perception on how we should go about our liberation. And I feel like that's where the conflict come from because we all had different experiences. You know, we all see a different route on how to get to liberation, but you know, we got to learn how to agree to disagree and come and narrow it down to what is the blueprint. And I don't think that it should be one blueprint. It should be, you know, a few layouts that people are comfortable with, you know, according to their belief or cultural outlook, or because, you know, we got to factor this stuff in. You know, a lot of people feel that pro-blacks or the conscious community is shunning brothers and sisters that have a religious background. So they feel like, you know, why get involved in this if they're going to, you know, shun me for what I believe. And, you know, me as I evolve, you know, I'm not judging nobody according to what they choose to believe in and what motivates them and what keeps them being a good human being. My whole thing is whatever you practice to make you a better person, good for you. But never let your practice blind you from the struggle of your people. As long as you're not doing that, then worship who you want to worship. I worship self. You do you.
Yeah. And that's what we got. That's where the respect come in at. We got to respect each other. That's our problem. We don't respect each other. So how we expect the white man to respect us? How do we respect these other nations, even Africans and Jamaicans, whoever come over to this land? That's why they disrespect us and talking their language when we around. Akata, and all this old shit.
I don't like that.
Huh?
I said I don't like that, and it also makes me jealous that we don't even have our own native tongue to communicate and to bond with each other. You know, I'm like, every time we talk, everybody know what we're saying because, you know, English is one of the main languages to go globally. You know, I want a sacred space to speak, you know, to my people outside of slang and Ebonics. Because anybody can understand slang after a certain amount of time, even. And plus, slang and words, Ebonics change daily. You know, we need something permanent.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, wait, 1 second, brother. King Noble or Sister Natty, if y'all want to say something, you can come in and say something.
Peace.
Yes, peace.
Okay, peace. Black supremacy system, Melanin. Yeah,
Yes.
I think definitely we should, you know, people got to hook up more on a more personal level and decide what it is that they can work together on. You know, what they can do as far as the blueprint goes.
Right.
And I think, like, I see what I see happening a lot now is that a lot of more people are asking for donations for whatever it is that they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think maybe that should become more, I don't want to say instituted, but it should be something that is like more of a given that, you know, when you come together with your brother and sister, just donate. Because I remember when I was younger and we had learned a little about the Asian culture. You know how every year they have their Asian New Year or whatever. They give gifts when, you know, and I've heard this before in the conscious community or whatever, but I think now that people are doing it more in the, you know, with the social media and the network marketing, whatever, they're donating. It should just become a given. When you know, you get on a call or whatever with your brother or sister, you see them come on live, you know, they got something going on, just donate, just hit them up, whatever you got, if you got the means. That's one thing that should just be done.
Right.
Because it shows too that you're not attached to the money. I see people, they do say, you know, I'm not giving Black people nothing. I don't trust them, or we have to trust each other more. Well, why do you need to trust your people more to give them $1? What are they going to do with $1?
There you go.
That you don't trust, you know. So that we need to come off of that and just free the money up, basically, and free each other up in the process.
Mm-hmm.
If I could donate, I would. I don't have a PayPal account. Can't get a PayPal account.
Right.
Right.
Well, you know, it's not designed for, you know, brothers and sisters, if you don't trust like the transactions online, because it's, even though it's been out there, it's still new. Because I just recently started buying clothes online, so I understand comfort zones. I understand, you know, if you just don't got it. But you know, the message is for those, if you can spare it. Anytime you get a chance to recycle black dollars, why don't you do it?
Definitely.
I know I do.
These other companies, they're making so much money. They have people that are sponsoring them, supporting them. It's not a matter about trust or whatever. They see that they got a good idea, you know, something that is revolutionary, something that is radical, and they just support them. The people who they're supporting don't even necessarily know how good what it is they're doing, but the people who are sponsoring them and whatnot, they see the vision, you know? So it's like, I think people see the vision in other people, and instead of hating, that people should just support them.
Yeah, definitely. Because when I go on campaigns, like when I just look at GoFundMe, I say to myself, I've been, you know, mostly gearing my advertising my campaign towards, you know, black people, and my campaign been up for 10 months, but a non-black person can come and ask for donations for Sparky or for alien research, and they got $10,000 for BS. I saw BS campaigns, but their people or that sector who believed in what they believed in, they gave up money, and they made that in a matter of, I would have to say, hours.
And that's because they're not attached to the money.
There you go.
I'm gonna say, and one thing about it is what we as black people, what we really want is we want to be able to. This is what I think, because I know this is what I want to do, and I'm pretty sure most of us do. We want to be able to invest and get a return. We're so used to doing stuff for free, just doing, like mama say, cut the grass, and you don't get $1. Like, I mean, you know, or just, it's just a thing. Like,
but you don't see the benefits. You cut the grass and you don't get ate up by 1,000 mosquitoes. Mm-hmm. People don't understand cutting the grass keeps down mosquitoes. You know what I mean? So there's certain things that you do, you don't necessarily see the return.
Right.
But it's like, how are you not getting a return when you give into your own?
What I'm saying though is, we gotta teach our kids to get the money. We gotta teach them that if you do work, you deserve to get paid. We came up in a situation in our era where you just do it just because they say do it, and you don't get nothing, and you get tired. You know, you get to a point where I'm not finna be doing that just to be doing it, and I don't see the benefit, but you do. You know what I'm saying? We gotta teach each other. Like, we gotta break bread with our kids. If you do something for me, some work for me, like allowance. You need to give your kids allowance.
Facts. I don't
really necessarily feel the allowance thing, because I do feel that, you know, you don't want them to get too cocky, because I know when I was young and I tried the allowance thing, and that week came up, I asked mom, I was like, so where's my allowance? That was the last time I've seen allowance. Right. But it's like, you do still have to have I think a spirit where the parents are not attached to the money either. Mm-hmm. So it's like, if a bunch of quarters fall out your pocket and the children pick it up, so be it. You see what I mean?
Right. No, I see what you're saying. Anytime it comes to money, the way I look at it from a spiritual aspect, you have to have a purpose for it. You can't just want it to want it. So when I raise, you know, the way I'm raising my daughter and enlightening myself and evolving as a being, I write down why I need money, and I need money to survive. You know what I'm saying? And money makes you more appealing to people. People perceive you as successful, and brothers and sisters need to see more successful black people. We need to see more black-owned mom and pop shops in the black community, as opposed to, you know, when you're growing up, I always thought when it comes to like getting your suit tailored, I thought that was just for Asian people. you grow up stereotyping certain jobs. So when you get older and a black person like, oh, let me open up a tailor shop, a cleaning store, you're comfortable with an Asian doing it because that's how you was raised. So the way I raised my daughter is that she has to understand the significance and the importance of it, as opposed to using it for swag and wanting to throw it around loosely the way the rappers or our entertainers make it, perceive it to be. But they know the importance of money, and that's why they utilize what they got and they venture off into other things like stocks and bonds. But I do feel it's important that you break bread with your children. Like, for instance, my daughter has a piggy bank, right? Anytime I'm short, I told her to be a loan shark. Anytime she let me borrow money, I gotta pay her back triple.
Right.
And my daughter will come to me and have a contract with me and make sure she gets her money back, that I'm paying her back double. It's because she needs to understand the importance of money. We can't sit here and make money obsolete. I have listened to like you and King Noble before, and I understand like, okay, money. I mean, I don't know, maybe y'all evolved and talking about old things, so I don't want to speak for you all, but I understand a lot of brothers and sisters speak against money and how it's used to reinstitutionalize us or it's not real. All I could do is comment directly right now on my reality. And as of right now, money is the only resource that I can use for exchange for goods and services. I don't have nothing else to offer.
I think there's something we overlook. I think we overlook information.
Uh-huh.
The value of information and the value of, not even above information, just each other. Like, we're more valuable than the money. Like, if we have each other, you can come up with ways to survive. You get me? You can come up with several different ways of to the point where the money is just like, it's a given.
But we got to understand. We got to understand. We have to get the money though to understand, to even get to that level of thinking. We never had no money, so we can't even fathom. We can just be living. We can just have a happy world with no money. We have to get money, and everybody have money. Then money is obsolete. If we never had no money, you need that shit. It's not, you know what I mean? If we broke, I can't be like, no, all we need is each other, and we all sitting on the corner, and everybody broke, and we got information. That's not gonna work. We gotta have money. If everybody got the money, then it's obsolete. Then we can do whatever we want, and then then your name just being you is more powerful. But it's just the perpetual state that we in. We need money. We need money. Then we don't want the money. But we gotta get for real. We gotta have this money. We gotta be able to show each other love with the money. We gotta be able to show each other that we trust each other with money. Because if we don't, nothing gonna change. Right. It's gonna get worse. Because somebody gonna want something that you got.
Sorry. And if we don't have money, what are we going to use in exchange for services and good? Now, if we don't use money, right, because I believe the highest commodity that we always have, is the melanated mind. So if we're not going to use money, what invention are we going to concoct that we can use in exchange for our survival, or creating an alliance with other nations? Like, if we're going to think on a bigger picture, let's say we don't have money, but we do have great minds. How are we going to cultivate that to use that in exchange for power?
Can you hear me?
Oh, go ahead, King. Go ahead, King.
Yeah, one thing we have to see is how we think about money is how we attract money. So it's people out here who already got $1 million, and they willing to support unlimitedly based on whatever your ideas are. But if you believe, hey, I haven't earned it, or you're limited to the investment paradigm of receiving wealth, then you won't feel comfortable letting someone just finance your vision and your dreams. Because there's people out there that will do it. They'll just put the money up. But if you're locked into a paradigm that says, you know what, if I don't earn it, or I don't have this business idea, I'm not worthy. So you lock yourself in access to limited amount of resources. Because somebody, they're beyond the money issue. They're so far beyond it that they're not even thinking about it. So how do you connect to somebody like that? You follow, when even your investments will not even bring about a return that will be significant to them. It's a joke. They'll get more inspiration out of just funding your visions and your ideas, period, because they want to see change in the world themselves.
But they're making an investment, meaning they're going to need some money back. So it's about
not
the money.
An investment. They just want to give it. They have it. They was like, look, it's a good idea. I got the money. I'll do it. Here, just take it. You wouldn't even feel comfortable. So you limit yourself to the investment paradigm, the investment conversation. You follow? And subconsciously, you're saying you're not worthy for the manifestation of your ideas right now until you can come up with a scheme or some type of plan. When there's people that will support you, they're out there. Entertain the possibility of somebody just giving you the money you need.
Mm-hmm. I agree, King Noble.
You don't have no product, no business, no scheme. They just saying, hey, it's an excellent idea. I support you. I've been seeing what you've been doing. I got $1 million. That actually do exist. But you know what? We'll only ask that person for $10 because we don't want to ask for too much. And it's not, we don't have no returns for you. So we kind of limit ourselves in a certain type of way with how we think about money. You got it. We're thinking from a poverty level. We're thinking from a limited perspective, but thinking to the perspective of people who have unlimited wealth. Everybody's not broke. Everybody's not trying to make a return investment. Some people just want to see good ideas manifest themselves. So you got philanthropy. You got people who invest in grants and all this type of thing, and then you have individual philanthropists. You follow? I myself, I've sent money to Africa to brothers that just had good ideas. I didn't want nothing back. I just wanted to see them take off with what they had going on over there. You follow? It's plenty of people out there like that.
Well, I'm pretty sure it is, but I mean, I don't know too many millionaires that's black that I know personally.
Well, a millionaire may be a lot. They might be a white millionaire. They might be an Asian millionaire. Are you gonna deny the money?
No. Heck no.
That's what you're talking about. Are you gonna say, well, I don't feel right about this because that could kick in. Your own limitations could kick in when you at the bank.
Mm. Your philosophy change
about money.
Noble?
You say what?
I said, did your philosophy change?
No, I have been against capitalism in the sense of exchanging capital for wealth, but I've always been on wealth, on abundance. That's how I've kept my movement alive. People just give. I don't have no business. I don't sell shirts. I don't have any products, but people support my ideas. People with a lot of money, they just say, well, here, I'll support you. Mm-hmm. And in some of these big churches, I've been down here in Atlanta, I see these churches. They only got one person that just want to see that church door stay open. It's a mega church. It's one wealthy person paying that rent. We think, oh, they just get money out of a plate. But I don't see enough cars pulling up at these mega churches that's significant to pay the bills of that church. So they have wealthy people who just want to see that idea going. They want to see that idea going there. People don't know that back in the day when the Honorable Elijah Muhammad had all his businesses and his grocery stores, it was people in the nation that just put up that money because they wanted to see blacks have their own business. It wasn't necessarily a capitalistic venture. They just liked the idea of us having our own businesses within our own community. You follow?
Right.
Don't look over that type of person because you're limited to the capitalistic framework in how to accumulate and achieve wealth in order to invest in your ideas.
Mm. Go ahead, King Noble. I hear that. I definitely agree with that.
Imagine you got the person on the phone and they like, well, what do you need? Well, let me think about it. Let me put a scheme together. You slow down the process. It's saying, you know what? I'm really inspired by this because some businesses start off slow. You might not make the money, but you still want that cafe open. So you saying, look, you need somebody who is that vigilant that says, you know what? I don't care if you start off slow. I want to see this idea happen. We need this in this particular community. Forget it. I'm gonna fund it.
Right.
But you can't lose. Oh, we were short this month. I didn't really make the money for the rent I didn't make the money back on the mocha, on the coffee. They're like, so what? We have to have this. You feel me?
I feel you.
Good ideas need good people who believe in those ideas. That's it. They need that. If people believe in those ideas, they don't care about money. They want to see that happen. They got money. They got millions of dollars. They already got it. They bored with that. They want to see a good idea whose time has come. And you got to ask yourself, do you have that good idea whose time has come? Do you believe in your ideas that much? Will you feel worthy to receive that type of wealth? Or do you need justification? You follow?
Right. Your words definitely empowered me today. I will say that, King Noble. I think
they've been empowering me.
I feel like you've always been an intelligent brother, or maybe often misunderstood, or people just have favoritism. But you always know how to come back and to give knowledge and to give spiritual energy. And I don't know, I would like to see you grow in the aspect of talking more about, you know, spirituality. I mean, talk about what's on your heart. I'm not here to dictate, but I'm just saying everything you just said now, you know.
And I'm living off of it. I got people that give me money. I don't even know why they're giving me money. I don't know why they're giving it. But, you know, embrace spontaneous perfection. Stop always looking for a reason. Just receive. Just be open to live the abundant life, how that may happen for you. You follow what I'm saying?
Right.
You'd be surprised at how that'll happen. You know? It's not the people that agree with me that support me or the people that disagree. It's people that just support me just for the hell of it. You follow?
That's right.
I mean, I support people that I just see. I don't agree with capitalism, but if I see somebody selling a book or doing something, I don't even want the product. I just give them the money because I see that they're driven by their goals and their desires to achieve what they want in life, and they're Black, and I support that. You follow?
Right.
And there's a lot of people out there like that, and I think that's the spirit of growth and development that is really going to overtake our community to the next level.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to get out of here. I ain't want to take over your show.
No, King Noble, this is a platform. This is about our nation. It's not one person dictating, you know, everything or just the same faces over and over. If you have words of wisdom and encouragement, you know, it's about all of us getting out here and showing ourselves and making it important. You know, it can't be the same faces over and over. No, it was great. And I believe that you came on and you definitely contribute to this live stream with your words of wisdom, as well as Sister Natty. And I appreciate you both taking the time out to listen in and to comment and to speak to the people and speak to whoever's going to gravitate to this message tonight. I'm very happy that you came on.
That's the thing. So I don't mix money with what I do. Everything I do online, I love it. You know, and I don't think people mix giving me money with what I do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Don't mix them up. You know, this is not for money. I just love getting on here, sharing my ideas and my vision, and people just support me. And I'm going to tell the truth no matter what, whether I make money or not. And I think people who want to see me prosper, they want to see me prosper no matter what.
Mm-hmm. Now, like let me ask you this on a sidebar, right? Nattyisisyah's show today was about debating, right? Would you ever debate somebody in the House of Consciousness?
Nobody in the House of Consciousness want to debate me, man.
What would you debate on? Because I mean, he's looking for debaters, and I always seen you as an intelligent brother.
Who's looking for debaters?
Well, on Nattyisisyah's show, he was asking the people like who would they like to see debate, and I know you do a lot of on your own channels, but you know, I mostly stick to like the conscious, you know, media, and I haven't heard your name thrown out there in a while. So I'm saying, would you be interested in debating or coming onto the debate scene?
That's a very difficult question for me to answer. You know?
Okay.
That's a very difficult question because it depends on what they would want to debate.
Right.
Because you know, debating is an art. You know, I'm a very principled person. I think the great debaters was like my favorite movie. But it showed the art of debating. Debating is an art. You can debate anything. You can play any side. If you're intelligent enough, you can argue anything.
Correct.
You follow? So I think that in order for us to get to where we're going, we kind of need to be principled in what we're about. Mm-hmm. It's more than about winning a debate. It's about winning a war.
Correct.
You follow? So I want to see how I can kind of work with everyone to get us forward, to move us forward as a people. You know, I could debate anything, and I don't think that would necessarily help us because I'm right in the end, or because I sound more smarter or more intelligent, or people like me for those reasons. I think the ability to drive us forward as a people, I think, is more significant.
Okay.
But if I see something that doesn't make sense, I'm going to debate it. Period. You know, that I'm just going to do it. You know, but as far as for money or as far as in an arena, and in the format of the debating, I don't really like that. Let's just battle it out. Like we on live stream right now.
Right.
We don't need a moderator. Just let people talk and express their ideas. It doesn't have to be done in that boxing, what do you call it? America's Got Talent type format. People vote. You know, just like have an intellectual panel where people just put their ideas out there between one another and express them. Mm-hmm. I think that's a better format. I don't like the debating format that they have. It's too choppy. It's like battle rap. This person gives their verse and then that person gives that verse. Now let's go back and forth. Mm-hmm. Don't be scared. So I think the debating format needs to change, if you ask me.
Okay. Did you enjoy anybody debates? Have you do you watch Sunday TV, or is there any debate that you did like? Or okay, is there anybody currently in the conscious community that you like, that you gravitate to as being a leader like yourself?
I listen to everybody. I can honestly say that. I listen to everybody.
Okay. Fair enough.
I try my best to listen to everyone.
Okay.
And I give everyone the respect and credit, of what they have to say personally.
So what is your?
I don't pick one over the other. I agree with some of them on this and disagree with some of them on that. It's give and take.
Mm-hmm. So what is your take on the conscious community?
I think that it's a beautiful community. I think it's a lot of opportunity. I think that the change of the condition of the people can come out of the conscious community. I have a lot of faith in the conscious community, because if anybody can wake up and get it right, it's going to be the conscious community. We're right there. To me, we're right at the cusp of the type of transformation that we actually need as a people. I have more positive to say about the conscious community than negative, if you ask me, contrary to other people's opinions. I love the conscious community.
I got a question. Is the conscious community separate from the whole Black family?
That is a good question. I think
it is. But I think that it's focused on the entire Black family. But a lot of the Black family is not open to certain ideas, and not, they have their ignorances, and they're limited. They're in a certain type of box. And I think the conscious community is a forum or platform. If you want to go beyond those boxes, there's a network of people who's delving in that information and networking among each other to kind of develop these ideas. Whereas the overall Black community, they're not open. They're just getting on to a lot of these ideas.
Okay.
But I think the Black community people that you're talking about, they are the debaters. All of us are the debaters. All of us are the country.
We do make up the Black community. We all make up the Black community. So in that sense, yes, the Black community, the conscious community is made up of Black people in the Black community. But what separates the conscious community from the general Black community is how they're willing to delve into information and challenge the status quo. You follow? And challenge the consensus reality when it comes to information. That's what draws the line. Whereas your average person is not going to be open-minded to these certain ideas. Mm-hmm. They're pretty much Christian. You feel me? They're pretty much inflexible with some of the ideas that have been passed on to us by our slave masters.
Right.
So would a conscious community just stay like the conscious community, or like how do you envision it? Will it change and get and grow into something exponentially bigger than this, to where it's almost like all Black people are in it? Because that's what I want to see. I want to see all of us in it. I know that's not going to happen.
All Black people will be positively affected by it. Hip hop was affected by the conscious community. The origins of hip hop is in the conscious community. So I think all Black people can be positively affected by it. Will all Black people wake up and become conscious? I question that. I don't know what era or what society or what generation or tribe of people have ever been conscious as a whole. I've never.
So what's the guidelines for being conscious?
Being willing to be aware of things and study on a more than a status quo consensus reality. Going beyond what you learned in school, what you learned in church, what your parents taught you, what's being passed around on the streets, willing to dig a little deeper, do a little bit more independent research, and implement some of these ideas and evolve as an individual.
I think like just think tanks will be a good way to do that. Like just basically like a debate. You know what I'm saying? Like the setup of a debate, but we need to have think tanks everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like how the civil rights movement, or how they show in movies how the civil rights movement was. You know what I should say, because I wasn't there. But like how they was just getting together all across the U.S. Just, everybody going and getting knowledge from each other, because they was all in there. You know what I mean? And they all got on one page. They were conscious, and it was it was a group. More than just how we saying we conscious now. It was a movement. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, okay, ain't nobody conscious but me in this place. It wasn't that. everybody was like, "What's up, brother? How you doing, sister?" Everybody was conscious. So that's what I'm saying. Like, how do we get back to that or beyond that? You know what I mean? Because
I think
the only
I
thing,
think the
you know,
conscious community, it could be like the Black Illuminati. I think the civil rights movement was a little different. They were kind of on the front line protesting. I think that the position of the conscious community could be more influential and can be more a direct strike as far as moving society as a whole. I think social engineers can come up out of the conscious community, not just people reacting to, you know, civil rights issues or political situations, but actually at a level of social engineering.
that's real. That's yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. Like just changing we got to change our whole mindset into our mind. We got out of our mind. You know what I mean? And go ahead, bro.
No, you're correct. I'm following what you're saying.
Oh, okay, yeah. Like we got out of our mind to we're doing the total opposite of everything that we used to do and everything we're supposed to do. To where it's like, okay, now we've learned more stuff about different things. You know what I mean? And a lot of us ain't scientists and ain't been to college and graduated from Harvard and all that. So we looking at this like, you know, it's kind of hard for people to read books and all that at this day and time because nobody really read books. Everybody on their phone. Even the babies is on the phone and they doing what grown people do. They on their phone, we on our phone. So I'm thinking like when people say read a book, it's like, damn, what book do I read? You know what I mean? Do I go to the library and just pick up a book, or you know what I mean? When we say I'm educated because I read a book, is discrediting everybody else who just don't know which book to pick up. You know what I mean? I'm not saying like
the thing, and that's the
total,
beauty.
but it's kind of like making you kind of tilting the seesaw.
Consciousness is that it's a stream. Like when you have to read a book, you're stuck in that book. But now any idea that manifests in your mind, you can materialize it online. Any question that you have access to information. So you can more experience your consciousness in midstream more than you could when we were limited to books. Now through the technology, you could jump right in your own thought stream. You could just change the channel, change the page, and you can more micromanage your ideas in a certain way to put your own bigger picture together. You don't have to read a 500 chapter book. You can just get what you need to know from this, that, and the other, from this and that page, and you can put your own ideas together a little quicker versus being a slave to somebody else's narrative by having to read the entirety of their information.
Ooh,
you have more access to free information than we had before. So our consciousness is almost instant now. You follow what I'm saying? You could jump right off into whatever your ideas and thoughts are. And I think that's the ability to create your own reality is more important in education. Einstein said imagination is greater than knowledge. So the ability to create your own reality, to manifest your own vision is greater than being a storehouse of information. It's educated people in prison. You follow? It's free people who are manifesting their ideas and their visions right now. You see where I'm going?
Hey, that's real. Yeah.
So yeah, you don't have to read a whole book. You might only need one chapter. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of books is repetitive too. You know, the preface is then told you what the book is about, and then you read the chapter and then the conclusion. But sometimes you can kind of get it without reading the whole book.
Mm-hmm.
Because you kind of know where you're going. You putting your own ideas together. You just using the writings of other people who have contemplated similar ideas. You follow? In order to give you a little inspiration and a little information that you need in order to craft your own reality.
That's
what it's always been about. It's just with technology, we can do it at a faster rate now.
Right on.
Agree with that. Like a lot of these spiritual books or prosperity books or manifesting money into your life books, they pretty much say the same thing. Like,
come on,
say the same thing. Trust me, I've been to Barnes and Noble. I've been on a quest to manifesting wealth in my life, and I'm like, it says the same thing over and over.
That's a fact. So now you just need the little bits and pieces of information to put your reality together. You might just need a little knowledge about this, a little knowledge about that, and you're not a slave now to the card catalog at the library. You can just type it in and Google it. You follow? You have the information. You have the ability that the CIA had. Now, do you follow? Well, you can find out about anything. So what is our excuse now? If we can find out about anything, man, at the tip of a finger.
It's the
Some of us
resources.
are in the ego of still trying to appear deep to others and feel like we know something to somebody else. But the true proof that you know something to yourself is that you're able to manifest the ideas that you have. You follow? Because you can sound deep and educated to me, but if you can't put your vision into manifestation, then what's the value of it?
Woo! There you go. Call
And
them.
that's what the way information is being disseminated now is challenging us to manifest our own ideas. If you got access to all the information that exists, how could you not manifest your ideas right now? What's stopping you right now if you have access to all information?
Ooh, go ahead.
Nothing is stopping us but us.
Correct.
Okay, when you say nothing stopping us but us, what does that consist of? What does the us consist? Does it consist of just getting together and having ideas and knowing how to do shit, or does it consist of having some money or putting money together,
No, it
or just
consists on
none
a
of that and
personal
just
level.
everybody want to do?
You have information, you can go, you can get around money. Sometimes money is you can get around money with doing certain things that you need to do. It's like if you could be your own lawyer, you can pay for a lawyer. You can do case studies and study 300 cases tonight and win your own case, or you can get the money up to pay for your lawyer. You follow what I'm saying?
Yep.
Money is not always the definitive solution. Information gives you more options than even money does, because money was going to have you pay somebody to do something, right? Most of the times,
Right.
is that true? But if you can do more yourself by having more access to information, then how much money do you need?
True.
That's true.
You're going to need less money. Now, if your vision is to make money, that's a particular vision in and of itself.
And I think that's why people are.
You could have a vision that by limiting yourself to money, you could slow down the manifestation of that vision that you have.
Right.
True.
That's why you have to be clear in your consciousness, because you may be limited that money is the only path that you can get to manifesting that idea. And it might be something right in front of you. It might be a network or a connect you need to make, or something, a resource that you're overlooking that's right in your face, but you can't see it because you only believe that money is the only path for you to get to that destination. So in essence, money could be limiting, but money is a symbol of social status. So a lot of people are just going after money, but they don't know who they are and what they really want in life.
That's true.
You follow? They just want the easiest way to get some status and to say, I am somebody and I've achieved something and I accomplished something. But you can't cheat the universe like that. The universe want to know, what do you really want? What do you really want to do? What's your passion? What are you driven to do? It really wants you to figure out who you are and what you want to manifest in this life.
There you go.
And you have to sift through the information in order to do that, to find out that, well, how do I really do this? Because a lot of people, only thing stopping them from succeeding right now is they're not 100% clear on what it is that they want to do. They're all over the place.
Facts.
So they have to exhaust through this information to find out, well, how do I really want to do it? Do I really want to do that? Is that really how I want it? And when they answer that, I bet you that the manifestation of that vision will be a lot closer to them than them waiting or depending on money. Money is sometimes an excuse not to figure out one's own self.
Woo! There you go.
You know, reality is in the present right now. Everything you need is right in front of you. So if you don't see how what's in front of you can be utilized to get you to where you want to go, then it's delusional. Because even if you got to get to money, you still got to get through the space and energy where you are right now at. There's got to be something around you, to move you into where you want to be. And if you're not seeing all that and all you're seeing is the lack of money, then you locked in some type of delusional prison.
That's
you feel me?
It's real.
You have everything you need in front of you right now. Can you become present? Can you become that present to utilize that resourceful, to utilize that to get you to where it is that you're trying to go? If you're not clear on where you're trying to go, you're not going to be able to do that.
That's right.
And money is the quickest way to say, I am somebody, I got something, look at me, see what I did. Forget social validation. That money ain't going to make you happy. Because you still, once you get that, you still got to figure out what you're going to do with that money when you get it. What are you going to do with it? The same question arises.
And that come from school telling us we have to get a job after school. After we go to school and get educated, we're gonna have to get a job to get money. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact. Money is the carrot at the end of the carrot at the end of the stick.
Right.
School, they're still selling. They got to sell you on working for the government. The system. They got to sell you on working for somebody else. That's why they tell you that you got to get an education and get a good job to get money. But why they don't tell you that you need the information? You got to give information to somebody. You can exchange information for, for money. Why don't they tell you that? You could literally go to school, take notes of everything that they're teaching you, and put that in a book and sell. If you were talking about selling or donating whatever information, you could give the information that they're teaching you. You could sell that back.
Yeah.
But they don't want to tell you that.
True.
And then when you work hard for your money, and then it's somebody that's completely, absolutely stupid, that's a millionaire, and you struggling for your $100,000 a year.
Yep.
Yeah. And they just dumb as you can all get out, because the universe doesn't really care. If your thought paradigm is limited to you have to do this and go through that to get money, then that's going to be your burden. But if you open up your consciousness to how money can actually manifest in your life, you'll be surprised. You could be just as dumb as that dumb rapper with that money. Huh? If you open to it, they throwing $20,000 away in a strip club, and the conscious community can't even figure out how we're going to buy a building. Exactly. That the completely stupid got money.
Go ahead.
They have a stupid idea about money. We have to become more stupid about money. We believe in money. We make money our God. We have to become more stupid about money. As crazy as that might sound. Because when you become stupid about it, it starts showing up for stupid reasons. If you're too smart, you can't have none of it. You're too smart to get money. The smart person is in the library carrying 50 bags, broke as hell. The person with money is dumb as hell, man. They don't match. They don't know what the hell to do, man.
That's true.
Don't that make you feel bad? You working and run your own black-owned business, and then this complete idiot pulls up next to you in a Lamborghini?
Talk about it. Talk about it, King Noble. Shit.
I want to be that idiot, man. That pull up next to you in that Lamborghini, man.
Give me the dunce cap.
Would you feel better about yourself?
Right.
I remember a rapper, I think his name was Young Gangster or whatever. Something like that. And he went up into Walmart, and a lady was accusing him of stealing a candy bar. And he pulled out all his money, and he probably did steal the candy bar. But he pulled out all his money. He was like, I ain't got to steal no candy. I got all this money, all that. But the person that was working for minimum wage was so self-righteous about money. And that's what locked her into that paradigm. Because she has such a self-righteous perspective about, I'm doing the right thing. You're supposed to work for your money. Some people, if you got too much money, they feel like you got to be doing something wrong. If it don't make sense to them.
True.
Right?
True.
Literally. I mean, in the past, I have
not famous and you just pull up with a whole bunch of money, people going to look at you crazy. If nobody never...
It's a sin. You have to be able to explain, I got this money from here, and I got 2 jobs, and I got this, and they say, okay, well, you're a good person. But if you got money that's unaccountable for, you looked at as a criminal or as a sinner. That's a negative relationship to money. You feel me? And we all share in that consistent reality. And if we want to get into wealth, we have to start worshiping money, man. We have to take that value, take our power back away from money, and start believing in ourselves again. You follow? And acknowledging our potential and our worthiness to be wealthy and have whatever we desire in this life. Your birth was unreasonable. I want to do a lecture series called Spontaneous Perfection. You being here don't even make sense. But somehow you being wealth has to make all the sense. I.e. dollars and cents.
That sounds like
embrace senseless wealth, senseless opportunity. You follow? How many opportunities do we turn down every day because it don't seem like it makes sense to us?
Right.
That's true.
It has to fit into our paradigm in order for. What's the catch here now? You about to give me what, 500,000? Now come on, get out of here, man. No, hell no, man. I'm going to work.
Right. Because check this out. I can't even go outside without somebody pretty much giving me money. Like, I don't ask for it, and I'm not used to it. But it's like in Georgia, people just give you money.
Come on, teach, Natty.
Okay. No lie.
That's because your paradigm is open to receive it. Because you don't feel like, oh, they think bad of me. Oh, who is you to give me money? What? I got it already. What's this? You like, no, give me money. Give me stupid money. Come on.
Yeah, because we got that attitude too, where somebody will give you something and you'll hand it back to them. Oh, I don't need it. It's okay. I'm all right. I'm sure. No, my pocket is right here.
That's right.
Thank you very much.
That's a fact. So our concept about wealth needs to change, and it's locking us a little bit into our experience of money. You know, because I don't have no rent, no bills. I'm free. So what am I gonna do with money other than be rich? I'm out of the matrix.
True.
I don't have any obligations or any to this system. So my money is just every penny I get is wealth. You feel me? It's unreasonable wealth. You follow? And I'm using it to prosper other people, to put this message out and to inspire other people to tap into the divine potential that lies within themselves. You know, it's not even for me. You know, I know how to survive and live off the earth, and you really don't even really need money. Money is just a luxury.
That's right.
So why are we so scientific about our luxuries? You follow?
Right. Because the one thing I learned from reading the book that I'm reading right now, Creating Money, it says before you even receive, you have to already live as if you're abundant. Don't hold doing good for yourself. Like it says, whatever hobby you have and you feel like, oh, the only way I can do this is if I have money. They said, no, get into that hobby or find a way to be involved in it right now. So when the money comes, it won't feel like it's supplement of fulfillment, but you're using it exactly what you said you was using it for. You can't say, oh, I need money for love or I need money for this, because money is not used to fill a void. You're supposed to
get happy right now. And what's happened is you're gonna end up in a secret society called we don't give a fuck about money, and we just throwing it around. How many of you would like to be in that secret society?
Hey,
because I'm a part of the secret society. We just throw money around, man. We don't care.
Hey, I always wanted to
get thrown around.
I mean, I always wanted to be a philanthropist. You know what I mean? I always wanted to help and spark ideas with other people, like what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? How you saying we don't need the money, but once we get the money, then that's when I think it'll come together a little bit better than what it is right now.
You teach.
You know what I mean?
I sent money to Africa, to this brother in Africa. I read the comments, people saying, "Oh, he's a pimp.
Send me
He's this, he's that." I said, "Man, I don't even care, man. Just prosper." You know what I'm saying? I sent money to my enemies. I donate money to my enemies. Stop making money make sense. You follow?
Mm-hmm.
Stop being attached to money, and it'll flow.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And it'll flow.
Mm-hmm.
Stop putting so much reason behind it, and allow yourself to be unreasonably wealth. Your ego tells you can only be wealthy like this. If you only sell this many of those, you can only be wealthy.
Mm-hmm.
You can be wealthy because you're open to being wealthy.
Right.
You follow? A lot of these people, if you walk up in their job, you can't pay them to quit because they need to prosper in a way that makes sense to them. And a lot of people, even with their own business, I said, what if somebody just gave you the money? Would you just do this because you love it? Because how could you justify doing it if somebody gave you $1 billion? You say, well, I need $1 billion to open my business. They give you the $1 billion. You're like, well, why am I going to run a business? I got $1 billion.
True.
Facts.
So ultimately, you're going to only do what you love, or you end up, like they say, that scam artist. The scam artist is that person who's only doing it for money. So when they get the money, they don't even want to do the work no more. They're like, shit, I'm rich. What the hell you calling me for? Like polite. If you got rich, what you gonna do the work for? You was only really doing it for the money. So now you gotta psych yourself up to even do the work now. That's why with capitalism is so poor customer service. You follow what I'm saying? Because they just trying to get their check. So once they get their check, Monday is like, man, I ain't taking no orders. Because they only doing it for the money.
Mm-hmm.
So that creates that unscrupulous realm where we call people getting scammed.
Okay.
If they just was willing to be wealthy, then they could really do a trade of something that they really like and they really want to give, and it will be more honest and it will be more genuine.
Mm-hmm.
You follow? It'll be a genuine service that they will want to provide, not something they just doing because they want to get rich, and they'd rather be sitting in front of the Lakers at the Lakers game than actually doing the actual paperwork. You follow?
Right.
We are all doing that to ourselves. I'm not pointing or singling anyone out. We are all doing this to ourselves. It's one of the pitfalls of the conundrum of this matrix.
Mm-hmm.
But imagine yourself being wealthy beyond the matrix. But I don't want to take your show over, sister, because I'm a talker.
No, no, but right now it is getting pretty late. But no, I like your ideas and views, and anytime you go on live, or if you want to like do a show more on, like you said, you was doing your own lecture, but if you want to like have some show ideas, I'm very much so open to it, especially when it comes to manifesting money and wealth or things like that. Other topics that we have to be aware of as a people, because I see a lot of the same subjects being thrown around, and we need to have other things on the table for our people to think about and allow their mind to expound on.
That's power.
So I want to thank you guys for coming on, because I didn't even realize it was 10:20 at night. It's time for me to go to bed. But I thank you, Brother David, King Noble, Sister Natty, for coming on to the panel, sharing your thoughts and views and perspective, and sharing your wisdom and knowledge from your experience as a Melanite, and it's greatly appreciated. I feel y'all have helped me, because when I came on, I was just talking about a personal incident. You know how you got to deal with people when you're on this platform, or if you're just using it, to make videos or whatever. People got negative things to say about you, so sometimes you feel like you got to come out and defend your character. So that was my premise, but I'm glad that it changed into this something more productive and motivating for me and the people who are watching. So I'm glad that you guys came on to share and talk with me and talk to the people.
The link in the chat. Appreciate that.
All right,
y'all.
All right.
Black supremacy.
Bye bye.